你好，困擾
你好，Christina，你嘅
呀
中文名係咩？
衛蘭
衛蘭，
我姓
OK，
邵
邵衛蘭，
邵衛蘭，
有明星嘅感覺。
有明星嘅感覺。OK， and then 你個名咧？你個名係跟同李光耀嗰個光耀，
關
光
關
耀
友，關友，
係唔同嘅。
係唔同嘅。
OK，
OK，我哋正式開始。
OK，
Okay.
Welcome to the Singing Bowl Gallery.
Okay. Hello.
Hi.
This is Guan Yu here. I run the Holistic Human podcast where we talk about bringing forth human potential. I have Christina here with me today from the Singing Bowl Gallery. Thank you for being with us here today, Christina.
Thank you for having me today. It's
Yeah.
my honor to be able to share, things about Singing Bowl to your audience.
Thank you, thank you. How I met Christina is that I bought the singing bowl from her. It's as simple as that. But I would say that when we had conversations, there is a deeper level of spirituality to her. That's why I'm attracted. And then something asked me, because when I bought the bowl, that was like 7 months ago. And then I think 缘分有分離啦. So the fate, something caused me to find her again. So last Friday we had the chat and then it went a lot of many different directions and it was really cool. Today we'll be talking about sound healing and sound bath, and we'll hear from Christina's experience about this modality. So Christina, can you tell us how did you first come into contact with this modality? What were you doing before then?
I see. Before everything started, actually, we may go back all the way before I come to Singapore. As you can hear how I speak. Yes, correct. You're right. I'm not local. And I come from Singapore. It was 27 years ago.
7 years ago.
Yes, at that time, I just gave birth to my son. So before I gave birth to my son, I was in graphic design. So I ran my own graphic design production house in Hong Kong.
Oh,
Yes.
with the manhwa.
Not manhwa. Okay.
Okay.
It's more about making annual reports, corporate brochure.
I see.
I have quite a number of corporate clients.
I see.
Yes, mostly deal with printing stuff, photo taking and brochures. So that's why I'm able to do my own website, social media, and print materials myself. After I gave birth to my son, then we moved here already when he was only 4 months old.
Oh, I see.
I
came to Singapore when my kid was 1 month old. So quite similar stories.
So we can share stories.
Yes.
How to take passport photo for.
Yes, that one.
That's how I came to Singapore, and that's what I did. My first career was in graphic design. And after that, my second career was being a mother. So I was a full-time housewife. And then how I started, at the very beginning, started to get in touch with Singing Bowl was I was like many people that came to my shop, they have that kind of unknown connection with the Singing Bowl. So a lot of time, people just step in.
That time you started a singing bowl shop already. But
not that time.
I see.
So I'm just talking about, the mysterious link and connection.
Okay.
So they just step in and then, somehow play around and bought a singing bowl. So to me, it's similar. So at that time, I was having some condition. I suspect that I was like maybe depressed. So the symptoms were mainly, I got tears without any trigger. It's just tears.
It's after the kid, right?
Yeah, if we count back, it's about 13 years ago.
I see.
So 13 years ago, that means when my eldest is 14 years old.
I see.
So I came to Singapore 14 years, and then this happened.
I see.
Yeah, with the mood swing and no motivation to do anything or get out to meet people. It was like the feeling, I'm not so sure if you have gone through any like depressed time or depression.
I had more like an anxious period, lasting about 1-2 years. Insomnia, and then my heartbeat will raise up to 104, 108, and then after
That's cardio.
yes, but it's not good because it's a constant tachycardia. Yes, it's not good for your system.
Yeah, so the feeling was like you're in a very dark room. Last time when we processed photographs, you're in the dark room. It's something like that, or in a very dark theater. But I didn't have the motivation to change or get out of it. So one day I bought like a metal bowl, and then I was curious, looking at it for long time. And then somehow, as if I know what to do with it, I pick up the stick, and then I just gently tap the bowl. Yeah, I listened to the sound, and I felt there's lots of buzzing sensation and lots of like relief. And it felt so good. Yeah. Then at that time, like most of you, think, why is a bowl so expensive?
Yes.
I tapped a few bowls and went back a few times. And then eventually, I bought one. After I bought that bowl, I was very curious because I'm very interested in sound itself, and I listen to a lot of like classical music. I am very particular and listen to every detail in the sound. So every day I was like playing the bowl, and hey, today I find another sound. Hey, today the sound is different. Or then there are like a few variations of the same sound from same bowl. But throughout this process, I felt I've changed into another person, normal person.
Your mood's lifted already.
Yeah, better version of myself. So basically, before I was like in a dark room. Then after playing the same bowl for 5 days, I felt as if I'm in a open space or in a glass house full of life, and then there's blue skies and clouds and rainbows then all surrounding me. It was so good. Ever since that time, I never fall back to that deep and dark state. That was the very first time. And then, of course, subsequently, as I go deeper and deeper in the journey, there are more things happening.
I see. Just now you mentioned that one bowl has more than one quality of sound. For me, there's only two. One is when I tong it, the second one when I do this. So there's only two sounds. Next time you must teach me. And then that's how you started healing yourself with the bowl, right? Then subsequently, how did you set up your own place?
Oh, you mean my home?
How do you set up this place?
Oh, this place.
Yeah.
Oh, this is another magical because as you get into the singing bowl, eventually you want to explore, hey, what if I play this sound? What if I have that sound? Then I started to go to different places to see the singing bowls. And then I came to know about this, what is that called? Wellness fair, Heart, Mind, Body Festival. So I went there, and then I happened to see my teacher's store. So actually there was been selling singing bowl like every year. Yeah, from like long time ago. And I bought a singing bowl from them. I bought a bigger one. And then next year I bought another one. And then I just collecting bowls. Yeah. And then to me, they were all, to many people, they just look like a trader who was selling things. Yeah. We didn't know that actually he is the like master, or like people who come from a history, come from a tradition in singing bowl healing. During the third time, I was like looking through his bowl, trying to find another bowl. Then I just couldn't find one that I want. I went through all his bowls. after I look through the table, then they reach out under the table, took some out, and then from the corner. So eventually I went through the whole store, and then I felt very bad because I could only found one single tiny one. But then I felt okay. We call it paise, okay. And then at the time I told Santa, I can only find this bowl that I like. How much is this? He said, he offered me for free. Yeah, and not only that, he gave me a book and also a CD. All right, I brought them back. As I told you, I'm very into music and lots of like classical music CD at that time. So I played the CD, and I was thinking, oh wow, why is the quality, the recording so good? I didn't expect that from Nepal, and also the execution so artistic, and the whole flow from the artistic point of view, it is very high quality. Yeah. So then I start to study the album, the cover, and then I found the name. Santa Sakil. Is that guy at the store? Because they are dressing in a very casual way. You wouldn't know that they are like the teacher, the master. Yeah, I felt, wow, amazing. They're actually a recording artist. So then I went back the next day, and then I started to head out in the store because it's just my way to repay them. Their way of manning the store is like this. Yeah, wait for people to ask questions. So I started to be more like Singapore way, be a promoter, and then I show people, hey, this is how to play it, okay, and the different sound, as if I'm the promoter at the store. And then they were like looking at me. So I spent a whole day there. So that was the last day of the holistic fair. So at the end of the day, they have some bowls left. Then I start to ask them, okay, what are you going to do with the bowls? Yeah, are you going to bring them back? Then I offer them, okay, if you trust me, maybe you can leave them with me. I don't have money to pay you right now, but I will help to promote it and bring to different places to sell it for you. Then next time when you come back, yeah, I will give you the money, and then I know about the CD, and then, well, I will host session and workshop for you. So that's how it started. So the next time, then I start to create events, create courses and therapy for them. And then they become more well-known. People in Singapore realize that, oh, actually, they do the, yeah.
And they're from Tibet.
They're from Nepal.
They're from Nepal.
Yes.
I see. Kathmandu. I see. So we talk about the history of how the singing bowl gallery started. I'll just talk a little bit about the science behind this. So I also very interested into alternative healing therapies. So when I studied about sound healing, if we can talk about sound healing, there'll be natural sound. So there will be like using mantras, or using throat singing, or humming. When you do humming, you can actually increase the nitric oxide level in your nasal cavities. I think it was 16 times. And this one actually helps to clear the sinus, and actually helps to reduce infection. This is something that I learned from Jonathan Goldman, he's into this music industry for 40 plus years, he and his wife, Andy Goldman. And I also find that for no reason, when I'm in the toilet, people sing in the toilet, I will hum in the toilet. When I hum in the toilet, I'll get the resonation inside the chamber, and then my whole body will vibrate, and I find that very nice. It sounds like a very odd hobby to do that in the toilet, but then that is what I do with sound. And when that's your internal generated sound you can use for your own. And then when you go to external sound, then there is tuning forks. People use tuning forks. In medicine, we use tuning forks to test our hearing, how's the conduction, whether there is outside obstruction or is it sensory neural hearing loss. But people use tunings for healing. There are also tingshas. Will you explain a little bit more about tingshas?
Basically, we use the sound quality and the vibrational quality, okay, from the singing bowl, okay, and then there are different types of sound, like deeper sound, higher pitch sound.
Mhm.
So tingsha has the highest pitch among these range of instruments. And the sensation is very different. So when we play the singing bowl, it's more, it creates a bigger sound field. Yeah. When we play the tingsha, it is more focused and smaller.
I see.
So when I suggest people what kind of instrument to take. So it depending on, of course, depending on the issue. And secondly, depending on how you are going to incorporate in your lifestyle. Things are basically, it is more of a like using it to generate that kind of vibration to us, very localized, specific point, compare with singing bowl.
I see.
But I don't think that it has the relaxation quality in the sound of the tingsha.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Then in terms of externally created sound, we have the singing bowl, we have the metal alloy singing bowl, we have the crystal singing bowl. And you carry the metal ones. What about the crystal ones?
Basically, just now I also explained that how I met my teacher.
Correct.
So I wasn't going right in with the mindset I go into sound healing. It came to me.
Okay.
It just happened that, okay, there's the teacher I discovered, and then I found that, okay, more people should know about their art, their craft. Yeah, so that's how it started. And for me, the metal variety of singing bowl is very easy to apply in our day-to-day life. Size-wise, it can be as small as this, and also it can be as big as this. It is more practical, not easy to break. So you can use it in different scenario, not worrying that you can break it. We can place it directly onto the body, or we can carry it outside, or you can let a child try using it. It gives you, the application itself is already very different. And the sound quality itself is also very different. This kind of singing bowl create lots of waves, pulses, and trills that different texture into the sound. And a lot of times it's this kind of texture that draw people's mind, and so that you can follow it and then go into a very relaxed and deep meditative state. It's a journey within. Crystal singing bowl sound is very smooth due to the fact that it's manufactured, not hand-beaten, not crafted. So the side of the bowl is very uniform, and the sound it creates is very uniform. So it's like a very smooth sound, and that is very pleasant. But compared with this kind of singing bowl, the wave effect is more relaxing, and also it brings you like to a deeper state. And of course, there are many more qualities, like people use metal singing bowl. They are more into working like for relaxation, for like body work. Yeah, chiropractor, yoga teacher, of course. And a lot of practitioners, when they use the crystal singing bowls, they will associate crystal singing bowl with crystals. You may see a lot more crystals around. They're set up, and there may be elements like astrology. They will link it to all these portals or planets movements. And some of these teachers may also incorporate channeling, and also bringing galactic energies, angelic energies into the session. So they are more into a broader range of new age idea. But metal singing bowls is more for like general vibration and sound that bring our mind to that state to relax and to explore our hidden side, the potential that you're interested in to discover. Yeah, it's more earthy, I would say.
That was the word that came to my mind also, very grounded, very...
Yes, more worthy, and also it's like more well-being. Is for everyone. You don't have to believe into anything. Not everyone is like into
ideas.
energies. Yeah.
Okay. And after and then we have the bowls, and then also we have drums. drums has been in many cultures for many years, and shamanic drumming is one of they have prolonged sessions, and then the beats they have a rhythm, and this rhythm, like what Christina said, it brings us into a certain state. How they do that is by entrainment. So our brain has many different regions. Each region may have a baseline foundational frequency, but when exposed to a certain sound for a certain period, the brain becomes homogenized in their frequency. For example, they go into alpha, which is relaxation, can go into theta, delta, or even gamma, depending on the hertz of the sound being produced and also the modality being used. And the higher evolution of sound used for healing, it goes into like binaural beats. So you probably heard of that also, right? Binaural beats is when they create a tune, but when played stereo to your left ear and right ear, there is a difference in the frequency. For example, on my right ear is 268, on my left ear is 264. This difference between 268 and 264 is 4 hertz. And this difference in 4 hertz is what your brainwave will sink into. You'll be at 4 hertz. And 4 hertz, if I'm not mistaken, I need to check back the charts again. It would be, I think it's alpha, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check on that, and then later I'll edit and put it on the screen. And that is how, if you want the person, you want to study, you want to be in a focused state, you listen to binaural beats, it can bring you to that state. If you want to go into a more creative state, then you can use binaural beats, adjust the difference, and then you can bring yourself to a different state also. There's also this Solfeggio frequencies, which is about 8 or 9 different frequencies from the lowest in double digit to the highest 900 plus digit. At different levels, it's purported to bring different type of healing, relaxation, curing insomnia, so on and so forth. But where's the research behind this? I think today my brain a bit frazzled. If I'm not mistaken, one of the researchers is called Richard Glenn. In the 1980s, he researched on what is the effect of sound on DNA. And the measurement that he used is the ability of the DNA to absorb UV light. So the higher the absorption capacity, the healthier the DNA is. So when he played sounds converted, when the sound he used 4 different set of sounds. One was Gregorian chants, which is like old Catholic monk deep sound chanting. He used classical music, he used rock music, and it found that Gregorian chants is the most effective. It increased the UV light absorption capacity by 9%. When you listen to rock music, it actually drops below 0. It goes into the negative range. So prolonged exposure to rock music may not actually be good for your body. That's according to his research. And so this is how the basis of healing in sound comes about. And also personally, how I use sound is like when I'm a bit down and then my energy is low, I will listen to Two Steps from Hell. So they are like production, and then their music is very 振奋人心. It gives you like a lot of oomph, and then you can fight an army by yourself, something like that. Then when sometimes I feel that something needs to come out, and then I will listen to very sad songs, and then it's for like catharsis, for it to push up. When I was cycling alone in South America, in Chile, the cycling was very hard because I was cycling it alone, and then sometimes I don't have a destination. I just go on, and sometimes it's so tired, and then I just want to quit, right? So I was listening to Pink's music, I was listening to different music that gave me the energy to go on. It's really helpful. And then when I want to go into a very peaceful state, I will tune on to Inception or Interstellar. These are my go-to, and I want to be very creative. I'll listen to Kitaro and Nia. Do you do something similar?
So actually, my main focus in teaching singing bowl healing is to help people to use the singing bowl as a simple tool to incorporate in the life to solve their problems in a very practical and effective ways. So I know that there are many other theories about sound, and then so we all know that theories are theories, right? So what I do is, like in my level 1 workshop, people will come in, I will lead them to use different kind of sound and also use different kind of intention to drive the energy. So mainly, I will make them see how you change your energy just by using it, and all of them to experience the change and observe the change right in front of you. So it is not about notes, it's not about frequency, it's about how you identify energies, how you create the energies to solve your problem, and to observe the result, and to see as a group setting, a shared experience, that everyone actually feel the same way and find the same answer. So that becomes not a theory, it is real experience. It's not a personal experience that one person say, okay, I feel this is relaxing, this frequency is relaxing. Not true. Many frequencies can be relaxing, many frequencies can be uplifting, not only one. That's my finding in these 10 years. So when you see that everyone is having the same outcome, same experience, then you eventually know that it is real, it is a fact. It's not like some mystery. Yeah, that's my passion, this is my job. So I wouldn't say that, okay, this bowl is for this chakra, or this frequency is for this one. Why? Because all of us, we are not scientists, okay? We are not making discovery. We are using it to solve our problem. So if a person has the problem that, okay, the mind is too active before they sleep, and then they couldn't sleep and they couldn't achieve a deep sleep, that creates a problem. That we call it an imbalance. So how to solve it? What kind of sound is best for that scenario? And we all do it at the same time during the workshop, and they all feel the same way, okay? Then that means it's fact and truth, okay? It's not like going by the book, okay, internet say this, no, fix this, then I get this. And then after you hit it, do you feel it? You don't know, right? So, yeah, that is the way, because this singing bowl healing, according to information, is like thousands of years history, and at that time there's no notes, there's no frequency, there's no device. So what they do is just listening and feeling. Okay, as a human being, we all have our physical senses, physical existence, and to tune into energy, or to be more aware of how we feel and the energy, how the energy flow, right? That's the first step for us to like open up our potential. I wonder if you agree with that or not.
Because I'm not as in-depth as you into the sound, so I don't know about what breakthroughs it can help. My form of bringing potential is like for people who have, sometimes they have limiting beliefs. They actually can do something, but they lack confidence, or they have imposter syndrome. Mine is about releasing those limits and then giving them the confidence to try something out. And then who knows, they can be an athlete, they can be whatever they choose to be once they break through that self-limiting barrier.
Yeah, so yes, that's why I have this space for people to like experience it themselves, and to see it right in front of their eyes, instead of just reading up, without experience it.
From your experience, Christina, what sort of symptoms or what sort of conditions this singing bowl therapy is most useful for?
Okay, for personal use, yes, we can use it like for different kinds of physical pain. Let's say if I woke up with a stiff neck, okay, I can actually use the bowl there to clear the pain. Or when I over-exercise, I have muscle sores, or when I now getting old, the joints not quite right, then I just in the morning, I just play the bowl to wherever I have pain, then it will clear the pain.
Interesting.
And also it helps to clear the mind. And it also helps people to relax, feel more grounded, and start the sleep ritual so that they can sleep better. These are the more personal side. Okay, I also offer singing bowl therapy. So singing bowl therapy is best for issues like emotional pain, depression, anxiety, insomnia, and it is a very good therapy for people who are going through struggles, like people who go through divorce or breakup, or people who are fighting with cancers. Yeah, so I find that they actually have big improvement just in one session, and then they actually shift out of that frame of mind, yeah, in 3 to 4 sessions. Yeah.
I see. That sounds lovely. From a medical standpoint, do you see any side effects of this therapy? As long as it's not too loud, I guess there's not much side effects, right?
Interesting. This kind of question.
Yeah, sorry.
That's we need to come to the point that okay, it's different kind of quality in sound and vibration. When we talk about quality, it's energy quality. Energy quality means, right, there's better energy and there's not so favorable energy. So good energy means warmth, compassion, sound like a hug, like a support, very wise. That kind of sound is like good energy quality sound. So there's certain sound which is very different. So there are people who say, oh, any sound is a good sound. That may not be right. As we know, there's always duality in everything. So some sound can sound like frustration, can sound like depression, can sound like trouble. And one time a lady brought a bowl here, and then she would excitingly show me the sound. And then then I didn't want her to play the bowl. I just had to stop the bowl and then just let her speak. She was a bit disappointed when I stopped the bowl. And actually, I was feeling it's quite disturbing. The sound is like deep in a way that is
jarring.
Not only jarring, a bit dark or something like that. The story she shared with me was, oh, I use it to play for myself and my husband every night. So she was very excited because she's the healer, okay? But then the next thing she said that, but very interestingly, when I woke up in the morning, I find pain on the back, things like that. So yeah, that is the way. So like what you said about entrainment. So actually entrainment happens everywhere. So entrainment means when two energies and two waves put side by side, they will synchronize, they will pace together. If you sit next to a person who is in a bad mood, somehow that will bring your mood down a bit. You sit next to a very happy person, or you sit next to a very wise monk, you feel differently. So that is also another kind of entrainment. So if a bowl carries good energy, good quality energy, your energy will entrain to that energy. If you play a bowl, the bowl sound trouble, sound frustration or imbalance, you can imagine that your energy field, your wave will entrain to that, right?
Okay.
So that's why, right, when we select the singing bowl, we need to select very carefully.
Yes.
Yeah.
To what you said just now, there are certain sounds that are more, for lack of a better word, negative in a sense. I think it's minor chord or minor fifth, because my musical language is not so good. But if you imagine Star Wars when dun, 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 dun. This one is actually, this sound scientifically actually brings out fear, feelings of being unsafe, feeling of trepidation. And then if you follow Robert Edwards Grant, he's a polymath, very good in art, science, maths, and music. He explains it much better, but this is what I can explain, what I think of the negative side of sound. And also, this sound is a vibration, and that's why sound is a form of energy also, like what Christina said.
Sound is energy itself.
Yeah. Sound is energy itself.
Yeah.
And there was another thing that I wanted to add on. What was it again? Yeah, also when you go to a clock shop or a watch shop, right, they will have multiple clocks on the wall. And then most of them will be showing like 10, 20 for some reason. Those that are not moving. Those that have a pendulum moving, if you put them on the same clock, sooner or later, all the pendulums will be swinging in tandem. So
Yeah,
that is
entrainment.
Yeah, that's entrainment. Yeah. So it's very interesting. It's a scientific phenomenon. It's not just cook out or people believe it's something real. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, entrainment is real.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And in terms of people-to-people energy, HeartMath, which is an institute run by Roland McCarthy for the past 2 decades or almost 3 decades, they investigate a lot about the power of the heart rhythm, the power of our heart's electromagnetic wave. It's like 10 to 15 times stronger than the electromagnetic pulse of the brain, and how interactions between two persons in vicinity, they can actually cause each other the heartbeat to sync, the mental frequencies to sync. And then that's why when you go to a person who is a negative cloud of energy, you may get dragged down, your energy may get dragged down, and you feel very, hey, how come I feel so tired suddenly?
Yes.
They call energy vampires.
That's another phenomenon. Yeah, that is like what you share with me about that guy, Stefano, right?
Stefano?
Yeah, that in the Gaia.
Yeah.
Actually, I read somewhere it says that if we make 10% of the people in a group to meditate or hold certain kind of intention or to make a prayer or something, eventually the whole group will benefit the whole group because these 10% of the people create certain kind of coherent, focus, energy. And this small group of people will entrain the whole group.
Yes.
That's why group meditation is so powerful.
So just now we were talking about this coherence. So something that this HeartMath is looking to do is to induce a global coherence. And they actually plant devices in 4 to 5 different locations of the world. And it sort of tunes into the Schumann resonance of the planet. Schumann resonance is some people call it the heartbeat of the world. So it's at the lowest one, I think, is on 7.82 hertz. It's when they measure the vibration between the ionosphere, which is one layer of the atmosphere, they get this frequency. And then it is found that when there's this saying that the Earth's vibration is getting higher, that's why there's more spiritual awakenings. And I tried to research that I found two. One is saying that the baseline frequency has gone up to 38 hertz. Another one says that because this Schumann resonance, it has several bands, and then usually the 7.8 is the most prominent band, but now the 14 hertz band is getting more and more prominent, more and more frequent. And this is something interesting that if you're interested, you can look up for Schumann resonance, SCHUMAN. It's named after a scientist who discovered this in the 1950s. And okay, would you like to give us a live demonstration of the sound healing?
Okay, so I know you are a medical doctor.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to ask you, what do you think most people need in an environment like in Singapore? We have certain kind of urban lifestyle.
I see. I would say that right now, at this point in time, Singapore, if we look at the 2014 mental health survey, was it 7 or 14% of Singaporeans will have a mental disorder during their lifetime? It's actually quite high. Why? Is because of the high stress levels, high efficiency levels, and people are in stress, burnout, overwhelmed. So if you ask me if you throw a rock and a person on the street, what do they need? I say they need stress relief.
Yes. When we were when you, in your regression, you said you're a caveman, right? So at that time, okay, our stress come from our food or come from wild animal attack. Our stress and anxiety will trigger our fight and flight response.
Correct.
Okay, but nowadays we don't need to hunt. We can get food anywhere. Okay, but we still have this kind of anxiety response. It's like a slow burn, like your work, your finance, your kids, your responsibility. Yes, and the scary thing is these kind of things will not stop. It's like an ongoing snowballing effect. Okay, but the kind of effect on us is still the same. Yeah. And then what you said, anxiety, our stress. So when we are anxious, we are more thinking about our heart, which is get out of balance. The discomfort, it comes from our heart, or sometimes our stomach. And then when we have problems sleeping, most time the causes could be okay, we have too much tension
Mm.
in our body.
Mhm.
So the tension can come from emotion. And also we have this kind of like very busy looping thoughts that we cannot stop.
Yes.
We can think of our energies like focusing and becoming very active here at this zone. So when our energy become very chaotic here, what we need is to slow down, to calm down, to slow our brain wave down. So you can heard me say 3 downs. All right. So what you need is to bring the energy down. We call it a grounding process. So grounding process, right? We can use bigger bowls.
My mic, for some reason, does not capture the singing bowl sound very well. But so later, when in the post-editing process, we will use a live clip from Christina's phone, and where she has a better setup also.
Yes.
Yeah, but we can try out here first.
This is supposed to be a grounding sound compared with.
This is higher pitch.
So do you agree that it's more grounding than this one?
Yes, this one is increase your energy, make you more alert.
Yes. So you don't need to know about the notes. You don't need to know about the frequency. So naturally, we know that, okay, these are more grounding sound. Very naturally, if you close your eyes, listen to this sound for 2-3 minutes, you feel that you are slowing down. Your breathing will be slower, and then your mind will also become more calm. Yeah. And if you compound it with some visualizations or meditation to ground your own energy, associate yourself to grounding. Okay, visualize yourself sit next to a tree, then you're releasing the energy to the ground. That helps you to actually bring the excessive or chaotic energy down, like ground your energy.
You can imagine like having a muddy water, shake, and then listening this for 2 minutes, the mud settles down and then the clear water is on top.
Yes,
Yeah, something like
yes.
that.
So then what can we do with the smaller bowl, higher pitch sound? So just now, Kwan Yu also say, oh, you feel more like uplifting. So this is a more energizing sound, uplifting sound. Okay, so it is very good for people who are like cannot focus their mind, or they are like not very motivated, low energy level. Then this kind of sound will be better. So if there's a patient that has depression, will you get this bowl or will you get this bowl? Exactly. So everyone knows how to choose. I mean, for the specific issue.
You want to shift over that side?
Okay.
Okay. We will switch over the Zoom over to Christina's phone, where she has a better sound this side.
On the spotlight.
Today I'm playing 20, almost 30 bowls here. Bring your awareness to your breathing.
I would say that at the start, there are many thoughts going through my mind because I'm later going to a dinner. How I'm going to edit this podcast? Can they hear the sound? Made a lot of worries. But I would say as the session goes along, more settled in, can more quiet. I can feel my chakras are active. And yeah, and I don't know whether this was the rain, but then the tempo of the crack sound and your bowl seems to sing together for some reason. I don't know what is that. But yeah, this is my first sound bath experience. And yes, I think short, maybe that was 5-6 minutes. So I can feel things coming down and then not thinking so much and then slowly settling in. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that is your first time.
Yeah, it's my first time. When I
Okay.
do my own bowl, I don't know what I'm doing basically.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. So if you have seen any imageries, that means you reach the deeper state. So a lot of times people may report saying that, oh, they see lights, they see colors, or even have some imageries, can be some flashbacks or can be some random imageries. Yeah. And some people also say that, okay, they drifted in and out. So maybe I didn't play long enough for you to drift in and out.
I have a lot.
Yeah. Mhm. Okay.
But it was a really nice session.
You haven't told me about your
Okay. I don't know whether that one should go here. So I can definitely feel I'm more zen now. More, the thoughts are not racing so much. So the effect lasts. And then I feel more calmer. I think just now there's also anxiety about presenting stuff and whether I'm saying the right things, the research details, but never mind lah.
we should have done that at the beginning of the session.
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind. I think it's still good. All is good. And then yeah, and would you like to tell us, like, if people want to find you, will you still be running this gallery or?
Oh, actually, you can just find me like on Instagram. The handle is at Singing Bowl. So it's one word, Singing Bowl, without space, without dot. Yes, and yeah, you can follow me there. And my personal account is Christina Talks on Instagram. Yeah, but if you search the Singing Bowl Gallery, sure you can find me.
Okay, and if they want to engage your services, it's also through there?
Yes, I do one-on-one therapy session. I also offer regular group session, and also I offer corporate session. So if you have a company that have this scheme that have some kind of group or bonding sessions, yeah, you can ask your company, ask your department to try so that you have a free session.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Do you offer online sessions so far or it's physical? Because yeah, I totally understand if it's physical.
Yeah, still the physical session, in-person session, give you the best quality of the sound and vibration. And actually, as we privately also exchange more about the potential, actually, yeah, there's a lot going on with our energy field. In-person session is much more powerful. Yeah.
Definitely. Okay.
If you like the session just now, definitely you should try one in-person session.
Yes, do come. She's located over near Tanjong Pagar, and so it's very easy to get to. Yeah. In closing, would you have any like advice or may or may not be related to sound healing life advice, or even if it's related, something to share with the audience?
The singable potential is quite big. I would say you can incorporate it in many ways. You can use it in yoga, Reiki, and you can use it at home for some massage. You can also use it in a bigger healing perspective, like bring yourself into a more coherent connection with yourself, discover your true self, and bring a lot more synchronicities, opportunities in life. So I think from my 10 years of experience, when most people ask the question, what does healing mean to you? A lot of time they just say simply as, well, to feel comfortable when you being yourself. Yeah, using the singing bowl actually help us to come back within and open up the space within us. Yeah.
Very nicely said. Oh yeah, I have one question. Yeah. What's so special about this Tibetan full moon singing bowl? Can you just elaborate a little bit?
Okay, the full moon singing bowl, the singing bowl that made on the night of the full moon. So it has a very special sound quality. So the sound projects very well. It creates a very big, consistent sound field. Sound is energy itself. So that means, right, it creates a big energy field. Yeah, so for people who does professional work, like you have a studio, you offer a group session, or if you are a yoga teacher, you should use the full moon singing bowl. That makes your session more impactful. And if you are a healer, or you want to heal yourself or be the healer in the family, the full moon singing bowl, from what I see and what I experience, and from my students' feedback, they actually heal faster. And it gives us the very clear indication where the energy blocks are, and give you a clear indication that, okay, whether the energy issue's been corrected or not, because it is highly responsive. Like just now we mentioned about entrainment. So entrainment implies that the wave or the frequency will change, right? And we actually can observe that because this wave and frequency express as sound. If we just listen to the sound, we can hear when the wave change. Yeah, so that's why, right, with a singing bowl that is responsive to energy, right, you can hear the change very clearly. Then you can locate the issue, the energy gap or energy spike or block, and you can do some technique to clear this, and then you can hear it when it is clear. So then it is a very reliable tool. So far, everyone I taught in my workshop, they could get it the first time in the level 1 workshop. And subsequently, they feel so empowered that, oh, they have a good tool to heal themselves and help others. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you for your sharing today, Christina. It's been wonderful experiencing the soundbath experience and learning from you. And yeah, looking forward towards future collaborations. Feel like I want to give you a high five. Okay, can.
Thanks for having me today, and I'm happy to meet your audience. Yeah,
Yes.
and yeah.
Honored to have you on. Okay, and so we'll be signing off now from the Holistic Human Podcast. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.